Thank you so much. I'm Nancy, and I've been blessed to be the executive director of PSDI for about 10 years now, which is a long time. And I've come to really, love the work and all the people involved in it. Um, I didn't have someone that turned me on to social work or onto social service, but I was fortunate enough to get involved in a nonprofit where I eventually led me to a job with a local United Way that really expanded my knowledge of the social service sector and the issues in local communities. And I'm so grateful for that. That's been such a blessing. And that's where I became really passionate about poverty eradication because I learned about the discrimination and unfairness that people in poverty experience. And I don't think it's just in the US. I think it's everywhere. In Bangladesh, people in poverty are looked down upon, right? Like there must be something wrong with them, or they're less, of a person or something. It's horribly unfair. If not for the grace of God goes I, they say, we're just all one um, incident away from that. So I was really excited when I read about an organization that dealt with extreme poverty, dirt floor kind of poverty in a developing country. I thought that might be easier to promote, but it's not easy because, PSDI is not a internationally known nonprofit. So we have to constantly push it, push it, push it, sell it, sell it, sell it. So on this International Women's Day, I invited our female board members. We have 4 now, which is very exciting. I was telling the ladies that one more and we'll be a majority. So we're very excited about that, but for our own reasons, which Lou, I'm sure you understand. um, but so I invited, and we have, I was expecting Andrea, who's our new board member, but something's come up, I suppose. And we have another board, and she lives in Michigan, Grand Rapids, and she's just brand new. She hasn't even been to a board meeting yet. And she's from Croatia, I believe. Her parents moved over here when she was very, very young, little kid. And, they had, very little money when they landed in the US. And that's what attracted her about our work, is how we lift up the extreme poor. So she's going to be a real great addition to our board. And then we have Medea, who lives down in Austin, and she is from India originally, and she is expecting her 3rd baby in April. So I think she's like in, maternity mode, full on. And it also has 2 little children, so she's busy, busy. But she's out there cold calling on corporations for us who have foundations to try to find a good link to our work, good partnerships. So we're very thankful for that. And then we have Faria and Raheen here, whose names I'm sure I mispronounce all the time, but I'm sorry. I hope I never have to learn Bangla, bless your hearts, for knowing English so well. But they've been on, Raheen's been on our board the longest, and then Faria came on a year or 2 ago. So I'm going to let them tell you about themselves, Lou, just a little bit. Faria, why don't you go?
Yeah. Hi. So I am Fariha, and I'm doing my master's in public health at Washington University in St. Louis. I'm in my second year now, about to graduate in May. So I have been in PSDI since 2022. So it's been mid 2022. So it's been like almost 3 years. And I heard about PSDI through my husband. So I'm very excited to be a part of PSDI because at least I can help the people of my country through PSDI. Yeah, that's all about me.
Yes, and her husband Aram has been on our board, but he is currently looking for a job. So maybe afterward, Lou, if you have any thoughts about, he's been living up in the Northeast because he had work up there, and then his contract ended, or the budget was cut, or one of those horrible things. He's really a wonderful young man, and
Your,
pardon?
your name sounds familiar from somewhere. Is it just from?
He's been on our board, and he went to Bangladesh, went home for the summer when he was in college down in Cape Girardeau at SEMO, and did an internship with the PEP staff. So he met everybody, traveled, throughout the region, and it was really great. And so when he graduated, he then went on to get his master's at was it at William and Mary,
William
right?
and Mary,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So he's one of these data people, data scientist. He's just learns. I mean, it's crazy how much he knows. And so if you have any
Yeah,
thoughts,
I'd like to.
um,
Yeah.
so thank you for that. And then Raheem.
Yeah, hello. This is Riahin Farzana, and I'm an assistant professor in the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. So I joined PSDI in 2020, but I joined I met Nancy first time in 2019 in this day, International Women's Day. So I went to St. Louis. There was an event, and I get an opportunity to give a lecture. So yeah, because like my PhD work was about microfinancing and women entrepreneurship. So I was doing research on that. So I went there, and and I also knew about PSDI from Arham because I did my MBA from SIMO, Southeast Missouri State University, where I met Arham, Wanda, everyone. So I know about PSDI before that, right? So and in 2022, when I went to Bangladesh, I met the sister concern of PSDI, like PEP Bangladesh, and I met their board members and others. I also visit Chatpur, they're another place. So they are working really well, and they are really working for the extreme poor people of Bangladesh. As a Bangladeshi, I'm so proud of this organization because they are doing a lot for Bangladeshi people, and not in one sector like education. They run kids school, in health they run clinic, and in different sectors. Okay, and now last year they have started microfinancing, and I know because doing PhD research, that's in-depth research I did. And so I know how microfinancing can help the rural poor women and poor people, because microfinancing, you can understand that's small amount of loan, but with that small amount, they buy maybe a cow, and from one cow they sell the milk and everything, then it becomes two, three, this way they're running their business. So maybe it cost less than $100 to buy a cow, and that is the way they are starting their business. Okay, and they are really doing great business. They are very successful with the microfinancing. So yeah, PSDI is really helping them. So I'm very happy to be a part of this organization. Thank you.
Thank you guys, and we're so proud of you both, and all of our board. I mean, because this is work on top of work you're already doing, and it's really important to us. So we're blessed with a great board. You know Bob Scanlon, Lou, do you?
Yeah.
He went to McBride.
Right. I believe I've talked to him before. Yes.
Yeah. He's still our board chair, and he's a wonderful, wonderful man. He was just inducted last year into the McBride Hall of Fame, which was really fun. So we have a great team, and we're very proud of them and very grateful. So, like Riaheen said,
You said Fariha, so just Riha and Ria, So just start with Ria, or you can call me Ria. No.
Riaheen.
Yeah.
Riaheen. I'll get it.
Hopefully, because
you
it's
can't
been
teach.
5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Well, you only told me not too long ago that I was saying it wrong, but a couple of years ago, I'll be practicing. So as she said, Lou, we PEP got their microcredit license back. They had it, but then when they changed names, they didn't reapply under the new name. So they got it back, and the reason it's so cool is because it helps the extreme poor. I don't think they give loans to the extreme poor. They give grants. They'll start out giving a grant, which does not have to be repaid, and then they will move once they have some savings and can repay, or in a position to be able to repay a grant or a loan. Then they'll start to talk to them about microcredit, and it's incremental, but it's the beginning of their uplift. And they work very hard, and our social workers, we call them social workers over there, our field workers, they call them, stay with them. As you know, our model is holistic, as Riaheen said. And so with, that from being associated with this for so long, that, they discovered when they started working with the extreme poor that they needed to meet all their needs, because if you meet half of them, they still have other things pulling them back. So we're very proud of that. But this year we've decided to focus on two of our biggest programs in regards to funding, and that's microcredit and our education program. We have 44 primary schools now. That's kindergarten, first and second grade. And you know how important early childhood education is.
Sure.
So it gives those kids the start they need to then go on to the government schools in third grade and already read, write, know some math. They do a little bit of social studies. We're very proud of our schools, very proud. And we also know that the return on the investment of investing in early childhood education is anywhere from $4 to $9 per dollar invested. So that's a big return. And it's for generations to come, because once a child successfully has an education, then that really is the key to living poverty free. So, and the very cool thing, and yay, International Women's Day, because the thing I kept hearing over and over, and it's been validated from many things I've read and heard, is that women, when they earn money, they invest it in their family, every penny of it. Men sometimes, will spend it on some other things, but women invest it in their family. So to really eradicate poverty, we have to empower women. And that's happening in Bangladesh, right, ladies? I mean,
Exactly. Like the founder of microcredit, you may have heard his name, Dr. Mohammad Yunus. He is our Bangladeshi Nobel laureate. So his foundation is the Grameen Bank, And they're like 97% of their customers are women because women are immobile. They really, when they need money, they take the money, they use the money properly and return them like through installment. And like sometimes what happens if a man takes the money, they use that in different other case, or sometimes they go from one place to another place for another job. So it's very hard to keep track on them. But women, they are very serious about this microcredit and they utilize it properly. So that's why, and the repayment rate is 99% from women. So that's why, like most of the microcredit customers are women, and they are very successful women.
And, the microcredit loans now, back when Muhammad Yunus discovered
Yeah.
how the success of microcredit, I think the loans were, a couple of dollars per woman.
Yeah, first time he distributed $27 to 42 women. Okay, can you imagine? So, like each woman got less than $100. Okay, but with that money, like they grew vegetable, they did like, as I said, they bought kettle, they bought poultry, or sometimes like they just bought the swing kits. Maybe like they didn't buy even clothes, maybe the needles or the machine. And the customers, they used to bring their clothes and ask them, can you please sew them, like the tops or shirts or pants or like that. So they just used to sew them. So their investment was super low. Okay, like now when I ask my student, what do you think? Like how much money we need to start a business? They'll say, okay, 50,000, no less, 20,000, less, 10,000. They can't think that you can start a business with $100. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they did that.
Yeah, I think PEP's average microcredit loan is 250. That's so some of them are much less, some of them are a little bit more. It depends on, what they're using it for. They've seen a real increase in need. Now these are people that are that do have income coming in, but they're still poor. Transportation is a big business in Bangladesh because there's so many people and people can, in the rural areas, they don't have cars, so many cars. So rickshaws, a lot of people will buy a rickshaw, either new or used, and they need batteries. So they've seen a real uptick in the need for rickshaw batteries to help a family continue their transportation business. So whatever, they design the program, the income generating activities around the community that they live in, the needs, the skills, the desires of the family. It's all very personalized to each family. And so I call the micro loan program a win-win-win because the families win by getting the loan. The community thrives when the families are lifted, and PEP also gets the interest, right? So they've got money coming in to sustain their own work, which they've been really relying on PSDI heavily the last several years for income. We provide probably about 75% of the income, but that is going down because the microcredit business is bringing more income into the organization. And, it's highly regulated. So because there's been, I guess, a lot of fraud or misuse of the microcredit program. And so it's very highly regulated. And of course, we have the utmost confidence in our PEP staff. They'll train them well. There's no corruption, no bribery, no, it's all very much above board and really really cool. And so the return on investment on a microcredit loan for every dollar invested is $6 to $17 return, both short term and long term. So they're great investments to make. And we hope we can, when we meet prospective donors, that we can really have them see the difference they can make with just a little bit, just a little bit. So we've got a quick video we want to show you if you have some time. It's just 6 minutes long. This was a video that Faria and I did a couple of calls with the PEP staff out in the field. So these are the social workers that work out in the areas served. And, when Bill designed the program, it was designed to hire young people and pay them pretty much a stipend for their service. And what has happened is that these young people that were hired have stayed. And so they're very experienced. You'll see when you hear them, they're very proud of their work. So we did a couple of Zoom calls, and so we took them and tried to condense them. We took one of them and tried to edit it down so that it could be a little bit, it was so funny when you'll meet Khalida, a young woman that they've been serving for some time. And they would ask her a question and it would take her, she wouldn't stop talking for 20 minutes. And I was like, but it was great. She just wanted to, she had a lot to share. So we've cut it down. So it's just a 6-minute video, and
Okay.
you'll meet Sultan and Khalik, who are 2 of the 4 field directors in each area of the 4 areas, has a supervisor. And so there's quite the accent. So we have, and they don't always speak English, they're speaking some Bangladesh. So we have included some subtitles. So I hope you can see it okay. Let me share it real quick.
Hi, I'm Nancy Jernigan, Executive Director of PSDI. We had a recent conversation with a couple members of our PEP team in Bangladesh, and we wanted to share it with you. You'll meet Sultan and Khalik in the following video, along with a longtime client of PEP's, Khalida. She'll share her story about how her life has been transformed thanks to you, PSDI donors, and the PEP team in Bangladesh. So sit back and enjoy.
সুলতান মাহমুদ, ডিস্ট্রিক্ট ফিল্ড কোঅর্ডিনেটর, পভার্টি ইরাডিকেশন প্রোগ্রাম, বগুড়া ডিস্ট্রিক্ট। আমি চাকরি করি প্রায় 22 বছর। আর আমার প্রিভিয়াস স্টেশন ছিল কিশোরগঞ্জ ডিস্ট্রিক্ট। আমি গত 2 বছর যাবত এইখানে বগুড়াতে আসছি বদলি হয়ে। এখানে ট্রান্সফার নিছি। যেহেতু আমি দীর্ঘদিন প্রায় 15-16 বছর ছিলাম কিশোরগঞ্জে, এখন আমি এইখানে কাজ করছি আর কি।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি আব্দুল খালেক, ডিস্ট্রিক্ট ফিল্ড কোঅর্ডিনেটর, বগুড়া ডিস্ট্রিক্ট। বগুড়াতে কাজ করতেছি যে পেপ অফিসে, ব্রাদারের অফিসে যে কাজ করতেছি।
আমাদের তার নাম খালেদা আক্তার, তার স্বামীর নাম আব্দুল মালেক। সে আমাদের পেপ অফিসের জায়গাতে তার বাড়ি, আমরা তাকে থাকার জন্য বাড়ি করে দিছি এখানে। আর সে আমাদের বেনিফিশিয়ারি। আগে অতিচরম পরিবার ছিল, এখন মোটামুটি ভালো অবস্থানে আছে আমাদের পেপ থেকে অনেক সহযোগিতা পাওয়ার পরে। আর তার 2টা ছেলে, একটা মেয়ে। তার স্বামী কাজ করে, গাড়ি চালায়, অটো গাড়ি চালায়। তার 2 ছেলে বড় গাড়ি চালায়, বড় ট্রাক। আর সে এখন মোটামুটি আগের চেয়ে অনেক ভালো।
পিপি অফিস থেকে আজ থেকে 16 বছর আগে থেকে হলো আমার এইখানে আমি আসছিলাম হলো আপনি কই ধনুট গোসাই বাড়ি জোর খালি করে ওই জায়গায় অফিস আছে, ওই অফিসে আমি সদস্য ছিলাম। তো আমার মেয়েটা গর্ভে আসার পরে আমি অনেক অসুস্থ এরকম অসুস্থ করতে করতে আমার মেয়েটা হইলো। তার কারণে ওই অফিস থেকে মনে করেন যে কর্মী ইউসি আসিল, তারা মনে করেন যে আমাকে অনেক ইটি করে অফিসে ডাক্তার আছে, মোর্তা ভাই ডাক্তার, এমবিবিএস ডাক্তার আসিল, খালেক ভাই তখন এই জায়গায় ছিল। এখান থেকে হলে খবর পাইলো এটা যে হেড অফিস, এখান থেকে খবর পাই, ওখানে গেল, দেখলো, দেখার পরে বলতেছে তাড়াতাড়ি এই সদস্যকে শেরপুর বরমালে ভর্তি করে দেওয়া হোক। ক্লিনিকে নিয়ে যাওয়া, ভর্তি করে দিল। দেওয়ার পরে ভালো, ওখানে মনে করেন 15-20 দিন পরে আমাকে সুস্থ করলো। এরকম স্যালাইন ওষুধপাতি দিয়ে খাওয়াইয়া সুস্থ টুস্থ করে রক্ত দিল। দেওয়ার পরে সুস্থ হওয়ার পরে আমাকে মনে করেন যে পেটে পাথর হয়েছিল, সেটা হলো অপারেশন করে আবার হলো বাড়ি আসলাম অফিস থেকে টাকা পয়সা দিয়ে সহযোগিতা করে নিয়ে আসা বাড়িতে পাঠিয়ে দিলে বাড়িতে গেলাম, বাড়িতে যা ওষুধ কেনার মতো টাকা পয়সা আমার সংসারে নাই। হলো আমাকে কি করছে আর এখন উপায় নেই। তা আমাদের ওখানে জায়গা বাসা যা ছিল সব নদীর মধ্যে, যমুনা নদীর মধ্যে পড়ে আছে, আমরা মানুষের বাড়িতে আসছিলাম। তখন ভাই আবার বলল যে হলো তাহলে আমাদের ওখানে জায়গা বাসা আছে, আমাদের লাইট গার্ডেরও দরকার আছে, ওখানে যদি হলো তোমাদের কোনো স্থায়ী মতো কিছুদিন থাকার জন্য সহযোগিতা করে দিয়ে তা থেকে তোমরা থাকতে পারবে। তা আমার মনে করেন যে একটু আল্লাহ খারাপই লাগলো, এলাকা থেকে আসা সমস্যাই ঠেকলো। তারপরেও মনে হয় আমাদের বাড়িওয়ালা বলতেছে না আমি ওখানে যা থাকবো। তা আমার হাজবেন্ড যেখানে ওখানেই তো থাকা লাগবো, তার সাথেই তো আসা লাগবে। পরে আমার আসলাম, পরে এর আগে আবার হলো খালেক ভাই আমার হাজবেন্ড নিয়ে আইসা মনে করেন যে হলো লাইট গার্ডের চাকরি দিল। আমি চাকরি করলে আমরা আবার ওখান থেকে বাচ্চা করে নিয়ে চলে আসলাম। একটু সুস্থ হওয়ার পরে আসলাম। আসার পরে আমরা এখানে শুধু মনে করেন যে অফিস থেকে ফলপা দিল, জিয়াতার দিল, টিন দিল, তারপরে অনেক কিছু সহযোগিতা করার পরে আমরা মনে করেন ধীরে আমি একটু ভালো হওয়ার পরে আমি এই অফিসে মনে করেন অনেক দীর্ঘদিন কাজবাজ করলাম আর কি। দশের দশ আমি একটু আমার মতো করে চলতে পারি। আর আমার হাজবেন্ডও গাড়ি চালায়, মেয়েটা মনে করেন আমার এই জায়গায় যে ওই সময় নিয়ে আসছিলাম সেই টাইমে ওই ছেলে করে বয়স ছিল হলো 6-7 বছর। ছেলেরা বড় হয়ে গেছে তারপরে হলো 20-22 বছর 15-18 বছর হয়ে গেছে মনে করেন যে পড়াশোনা করছে হলো ক্লাস 6 পর্যন্ত। আর ছোট ছেলেরাও ক্লাস 6 পর্যন্ত লেখাপড়া করছে। এখন আমরা এতটুক ওই লেখাপড়ার দিক দিয়ে অভিজ্ঞতা ছিল না বলেই 2টা ছেলেকে আমি লেখাপড়া করাইতে পারিনি। এগুলো বুঝি না, লেখাপড়ার মর্যাদা বুঝি নাই বলেই 2 ছেলেকে আমি লেখাপড়া করাইতে পারিনি। আর মেয়েটা মনে করেন সামনে বার এসএসসি পরীক্ষা দিয়ে পড়তেছে। এখন মোটামুটি বর্তমান ইনশাআল্লাহ আল্লাহ দিলে আগের চাইতে অনেক ভালো। অফিস থেকে মনে করেন যে আল্লাহ দিলে অনেক এই করোনার মধ্যে খাদ্য সহযোগিতা, চাউল, গাছপালা মানে যে গাছের চারা মারা অনেকগুলো সহযোগিতা আমাকে অফিস থেকে হেল্প করছে। এবং এইটুক দিয়া এদের থেকে আমি এতটুকু আল্লাহ ফাঁকা এগিয়ে নিয়ে গেছে। এই দেখেন তেল চাল ডালের এত হলো দাম, আমাদের মতো গরিব মানুষ আমার চাইতে আমি যে গরিব তার চাইতে গরিব যারা আছে তারা মনে করেন দিন রোজগার করে 500 টাকা রোজগার করে তারা খাবে নাকি হলো তারা কিছু শরীরের দিক দিয়ে চিকিৎসা করবে। এটা অফিস থেকে ওই আমেরিকান থেকে ভাইয়েরা তাদের ওই অনুদান দেয় বা সহযোগিতা করে, তারা মনে অনেক খুশি হয়, ধন্যবাদ জানায় যে আল্লাহ জানি ওই দেশের লোকে জানি আরো জানি দিবার দেয় আমরা জানি পাই।
You can feel the gratitude in Khalid's voice, can't you? Thank you so much for your contribution to PSDI and all you've done to help lift families out of extreme poverty in Bangladesh.
Then the other thing quickly, I wanted Rahin and Faria to share was what's going on in Bangladesh right now with the government. You know, I don't know, Lou, if you were keeping up with that. We sent out a couple of emails about it. It did make, the news when their prime minister fled the country. Was it last August, I think, September?
August.
Yeah.
Yes, and she'd been prime minister and her father had been prime minister before he was assassinated. And so it was quite, I would say, a very big deal. And so I haven't really, other than, I haven't myself kept up with what's going on. So I'm anxious also to hear what's going on as they're trying to reform totally, right, from scratch, the government. So ladies, Faria?
Yeah, so as Riyahin Apu was saying about Dr. Muhammad Yunus, so he's the chief advisor of our country right now, Bangladesh. And there has been there are people from the student who was great part of like was a big part of the revolution that was there back in August. They're also in the like position, like advisors, some of them. And recently, the student advisors, they also formed a new political party. So it's like all the students, yeah, who took part in the revolution. So, but there has been a lot of chaos since then. And I think it has increased a lot because there has been a lot of mugging, hijacking, and everything that's going on right now.
Mm.
So I think it's pretty bad because the law enforcement officials are not, you know, are not i- involved. I mean, they're not taking their like they're not doing what should have been done.
Yeah,
I
they,
guess so. And yeah,
they don't support.
Actually, what happened, like during that student protest, they start with one thing, like there was something related to quota. They started with that, but with the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's, she didn't listen to them. She was just trying to, she was very fascist and narcissistic. So she tried to control them with the police. Okay, she ordered them to kill them or like in any way you need to control the protest. That's why on that time like police were used very brutally, and after she fled away, now students were very mad at the police, and you can understand.
Yeah.
So on that time the police stopped working.
Ah,
Okay, they were like very scared of the student because if they come in front of them, they will like take the revenge, you know.
mhm,
So that's why the law and order situation it becomes very worse.
mm,
Okay, and now like the Dr. Mohammed Yunus, he is a very nice person, but he is not a political leader, you know. So
mhm.
and that's why he is trying to like use the police and everything, but like it's taking time. They change the dress of the police and other, you know, so like now the law and order situation is not like completely it has become like the way it was. But other than that, the financial condition and economical condition, it's getting better and better. And those students who were like actively invested on that time, the protest and everything, they have come up with a new political group, because the leading political group, it is like now they are not working because on that time, like former political party. So now we have two other political party, and now this third one, the students' political party, is National Communist Party, right,
I
Fariha?
think I
Okay,
think it's
anyways,
something like that. Yeah.
something like that. So this party, they now these three leading party are working, and the chief advisor, Dr. Mohammed Yunus, they are thinking with other advisor and like election commissioner, they were thinking like maybe they can do the election in December. So after the election, maybe the political condition will be better, because on that time there will be an actual political government, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So that is the situation right now.
mhm.
But people are very happy. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're happy that she's gone, right? And that party is gone.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because like now
it
on
was.
that time, all the ministers and all these leading political leaders, they had all the money. Okay, and like people of Bangladesh, they were like other people, other than that political party and their followers, other people, they didn't have like any saying or any right to anything. So
Mm.
now everybody is thinking it's our country now, because for last three times like there were no election, and they were just they pretend that there were an election, but there last time it was like only one party, Awami League, they
She
were
would,
doing election, yeah.
right? Wouldn't
So
she
there was
arrest?
no, exactly.
Yeah, her opponents.
Before that, during that election day, the night before the election, everybody cast like the Army League people, they cast the vote and they took the ballot box and put the vote like, okay, everybody voted for Army League, but nobody voted. Okay, like this way, it was like that. So they became more like, super
Mhm.
powerful,
Mhm.
that they were thinking they can do anything. But
Mhm.
now, uh,
The
but
students,
they have done something, of course, we don't deny, because
yeah,
they were doing like the transportation system and other system, they were working, but that is the condition. And now, hopefully, when we will have election and everything,
in
the
December.
in December,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've learned, we're learning, aren't we, about non-political people running governments. They just, it's just different. And Lou, I know you remember I voted for Ross Perot back in the day because I thought the same thing. I thought, Ross Perot was a rich businessman, and I thought, well, that's, and that's of course what people think about Trump, I guess, and I don't want to get into that, but it is a different ball game, governing is. And I didn't realize, I guess, how unhappy everybody was with the government. Our PEP team didn't talk about it much, and when we did get into those conversations, I think they were a little bit guarded in what they said. I don't know, but the students also led the uprising for Mother Language Day, right? For when Pakistan wanted to make Bangladesh Urdu, was it Urdu or what was it that they wanted to
Yeah.
make it the national language for
Exactly.
Bangladesh? That was before,
On
I
that
guess.
time, East Pakistan and West Pakistan, like
Right.
West Pakistan is now Pakistan and East Pakistan and is Bangladesh.
Yes.
So majority people used to speak in Bangla. Okay, but like again, like their government, the leading party, they were speaking in Urdu, and they wanted to make the
Yeah.
a
The
national language.
Yeah.
So on that time, students protested. Even in 1971, when the Bangladeshi Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he won the election, but still the West Pakistani people, they didn't want him to do the government. Yeah. On that time, that war started in 1971, and Bangladesh become independent from that West Pakistan. Yeah, so when the student comes, there will be something,
Yes, yes, yes. They can. Well, they're so idealistic. We remember when we were students, Lou, that, we were so idealistic about everything. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, and students are very neutral. They're
Yes.
not like we are supporting them.
Yeah, they're not biased.
They are
Yeah.
like, very unbiased.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not violent either. I mean,
Exactly.
so it's a shame, when violence has to enter the
Exactly.
equation.
The students were unarmed, but like the police killed them.
Yeah.
Okay. There were
Yeah.
like 1,700 people, students were killed during that like couple of days in 1 week, I guess.
That was scary time. Scary,
Yeah.
scary time. Well, thank you for that. I don't know if you knew all that was going on, Lou, but it's, it's important to us. I always say when I talk about our work that Bangladesh is not a country that's threatened by war or, a terrorist, or so we're very fortunate because because it allows the PEP team to do their work without other huge issues interfering and making it even more difficult. Now, thank you for that, ladies. I appreciate that. It's very exciting to see positive change, occurring, and it's a big job. So, Lou, just real quick, and I wanted to tell you, I will send an email to PEP and ask them to read it to Bill. I always do when I hear from folks, and I'll let him know what you're doing and how, so he can be proud of you.
I do my work with Missionaries of Charity,
Right. Mother Teresa. Yeah.
one of my bucket lists
would maybe be to go to Calcutta,
Oh,
Mother
yes,
House.
yes.
And if I did, I think it's just a short flight.
Yes, 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 because
I
we
would try.
actually, when we went over in 2016, we were diverted to Calcutta because of the fog. There was a lot of fog in Bangladesh, and we were only there about an hour, and we didn't get off the plane, and then they were able to take, and it was very short.
Flights.
Yeah,
Perhaps someday I'll see this. You know, I was
that would
given
be
the
great.
invitations years ago, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm tough enough to do all that.
No,
So if you go
don't
to
have to be.
Calcutta, you need to go to Bangladesh
Yes,
also.
Yeah,
you
it's
do.
very
You
close.
definitely do.
Very
Yes,
close. Yeah, 1 hour flight.
I knew Bill when all this was a thought in his head.
yes,
When this was
yes,
an idea, and he brought it to
yes,
fruition.
yes. And you know,
I met Bill in 2022.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's a very nice person.
since they've been tracking and keeping track of data, which I think, you know, that when it took them a few years to formulate the model, and they have lifted over 75,000 families out of extreme poverty.
I read your letters.
Oh, good.
And,
Good.
he's affected a lot of people.
Yes.
Your organization has affected a lot of people. It's good.
Yes, it is good. So help us spread the word.
Well,
We are bringing, you know how Bill used to come over every few years, and he, you know, made it known on his last trip that was his last trip to the U.S. And I know he used to email quite a bit, and he's not doing that anymore. So we're bringing Mizan Khan over. Mizan is the second in command of PEP. He speaks the best English, I believe, which is why we invited him instead of Mujibur, who is the executive director. So he's coming in the month of June, I think. We might try to get him in May, middle of May, because Rahin's going back to Bangladesh for the summer, and it'd be nice if she could be here when he comes. So Mizan's coming. We'll have an event in St. Louis. So we'll be sure and let you know. And we'd appreciate it if you think about bringing some friends, or even if you want to have, I'll be starting to call people next week to see if they would want to pull some of their friends together at their home or somewhere else, a coffee shop, whatever, for a brief presentation about our work in Bangladesh, so that we can, you know, try to win over some more supporters. So think about that for us. And like I said, we have so many folks in St. Louis that support us. We'll have an event there, so you can. We'll certainly let you know about that. Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be very exciting. We're really happy that he's willing to come over and kind of, you know, go around the country like Bill did and visit our donors and make new friends, and, you know, so on and so on. You know, we've raised over $400,000 the last couple of years, which is great, but you know, we need more donors. We need more folks that have a heart for international poverty. And there are a lot of people out there that do. We just have to find them, you know, because there is a lot. We hear a lot. Well, I support my local community, and you know, having worked with the United Way system for years, you know, I understand that very
And
much.
through PSDI, you will understand, like with your $100, like you are serving one family. So that's a huge, like you can make a huge change,
With
right?
just $100. And,
Yeah,
you know, when
just
was the last
$100.
time we spent $100 on something totally frivolous? You know, a really nice dinner, or, you know, something.
Exactly. It was my son's birthday yesterday, and we went to a Korean hot pot, and we
Yeah.
spent just like four of us, $150, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that, you know, it kind of takes the thrill out of shopping when you're working with the poor, but that's okay, because they need it so much more than we do. And we just want to, and I was talking to a woman the other day here in Columbia. She runs an organization called Love Columbia, and it's faith-based. They work with the extreme poor. They do, you know, housing and everything, cars. They find them jobs. It's really pretty much the same. They do everything for them. And she was talking about giving, and it's really true that when you give, it fills a spot in your heart that nothing else can. And it brings joy, and you get so much more out of it, or as much as the people you're giving it to. So giving is a really vital aspect of all of our lives. And so we want to provide the opportunity for you to be happy. So, yeah. So do you have any questions, Lou, about what all's going on, or?
I'm good, and I want to thank the two ladies for the amount of time they're putting into this great organization.
Yeah.
Board work. I'm on 3 boards. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're doing it.
It's really important. It really is. And yeah, we're grateful too. So, thanks for joining us, Lou. You,
It's great to meet you.
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll meet you in person one time.
Please keep in touch.
I will. I'll send you an email with the video, and I'll also remind you about helping ARM find work, so that if you know of anything there.
One of the organizations I'm on the board, we do immigration services in St. Louis, Monarch. We're next biggest to International Institute.
Oh, cool.
So I get involved in
yeah.
immigration and
Yeah.
foreign.
Right.
Yeah, Arham is like a very knowledgeable person and eager to learn all the time.
All the time.
So like there was when we were student, like we were in Simo together. So I used to call him like there is a Bangla word for nard, atel. So like he is always like when we were in a car, we were going to St. Louis, we used to listen to music, but he will listen to ebook, something like that. So like he is always learning, very nice person. So you will love to have him.
Yeah.
He still listens to ebook all night.
Yeah. He's great. So we love him. So we know you will too. And maybe you guys can connect. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Faria and Raheen, for your time and everything you do for us. And we enjoy the rest of your International Women's Day. Be really nice to women today, Lou. They'll think you're flirting, but just be really nice to women today. It's a good thing. And we'll see you all at another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.